No, just hold. Yes, start.
The Irish poet W.B. Yeats once wrote, "Education is not the filling of pot, but the lighting of a fire." To that end, the role of teacher for her students is as varied as it is intricate. Sometimes it means to be the hello.
You're audible, Sri Lakshmi. And
Ma'am, I'm facing some connectivity issues, ma'am.
no problem, Vita. You speak. You're audible. Please speak.
Thank you, ma'am. To that end, the role of teacher for her students is as varied as it is intricate. Sometimes it means to be the hand that guides them through the concept of right or wrong, to be the ear when they have things to say, to be that gentle nudge during the times they are unsure. Today's world is full of noise, all vying for the attention of young minds. Therefore, the mantle of responsibility falls on the shoulders of teachers to be their anchor. Good evening, everyone. I am Sri Lakshmi Nath, and I feel privileged to welcome you all on behalf of Army Institute of Education, Greater Noida, to this principal talk session. Before moving forward, I would like to request everyone gathered here to bless this event with the recitation of Saraswati Vandana. Sir, I kindly request you to please Saraswati Vandana. Over to you.
तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्र वस्त्रावृता या वीणा वरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शङ्कर प्रभृतिभिर्देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेष जाड्यापहा
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite Dr. Tanya Gupta, ma'am, Principal, Army Institute of Education, Greater Noida, to address the gathering. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sri Lakshmi.
I would like
And
to invite Dr. Tanya Gupta, ma'am, Principal, Army Institute of Education, Greater Noida, to address the gathering. Over to you, ma'am.
thank you, Sri Lakshmi. And I hear some echo. Can this, Manoj sir, can we please keep one thing on? Can the YouTube be? Yes. I hope I'm audible now to everyone. Yes. Okay. So very good evening. It's an honor to have on board Mrs. Heema Sharma, Principal, KR Manglam World School, Greater Noida, And ma'am, on behalf of the management of Army Institute of Education, I take the opportunity to once again have you with us. And thank you so much from your schedule. You know how the principals at the moment they are working during this pandemic. You've really taken out time and you've joined us for this first virtual session during the pandemic period. And of course, your association with the Army Institute has been long. You've been very kind enough to be with us during our AVIS Youth Fest. And every year, our student teachers are coming to your school for the internship and the school engagement program. And under your visionary guidance, they are learning a lot. And I would personally take this platform, when I'm before my students and my staff, I'd like to also relate the wonderful things you're doing for your students during the pandemic, making your children active. And I keep seeing your social media, school social media groups where you're working so very hard. So all my congratulations to you, ma'am, and thank you so much for being here. I extend you a welcome. And ma'am is here, dear participants. Ma'am, about this principal talk series, I'd like to just mention that this it's an annual routine at our institute where we invite. We try to keep it just once a month to invite a school principal to give our student teachers, the first-hand experience of what are the nuances of school teaching, what are the requirements, and the COVID-19 pandemic has been really a blessing. We are able to connect to more principals. So it is a blessing, and though COVID-19 is considered world over as a collective trauma, I don't think it is a collective trauma for the education world. It's opened new paradigms of connectivity. And I congratulate you, ma'am, for being on board to take such a wonderful topic, adapt to the new normal. And we are, as teachers, we are really doing very well. And I think through this pandemic, we have got to know more about our children. We have reached to their homes and we have reached to their toys, we have reached to their routines, which we could never do, when they were at school. So we look forward to really hear from you that what our teacher trainees who are here, our student teachers, there's also a batch, which is waiting for the university directions कि इनको pass कर दिया जाए या इनके exam हो जाए. There, half of them are placed also in schools. They're taking online classes. So the group is of those who are going to enter the internship period and a group of people who are already on job, and there are some who have been offered jobs but they have not been called by schools, and there are some who are still waiting for the jobs. So, and then of course we are here, the team of AI, who is also looking forward to really understand what is the adaptability that is expected of teachers, of students, and would-be teachers, and largely at school level, what you expect. So, welcome once again, ma'am. Thank you so much. And over to you, Sri Lakshmi, to please invite ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Today's topic of discussion is adapting the new normal. With the onset of pandemic, we are still adjusting to the new normal. The need to adapt to change has never been so eminent before. So, to share her insights on the topic, we have with us Ms. Heema Sharma, ma'am, a degree of Masters in English and Masters in Education from Punjab University. Ms. Heema Sharma has a number of accomplishments to her credit. Ms. Heema Sharma, with humble background, a lean and thin stature, a resilient approach, is a completely self-made woman. She started her career as a PGT teacher for teaching English and went on to become an administrator in senior secondary schools. She joined GMT Senior Secondary School in 1998 and headed that school as a principal till 2004. At present, she is working as principal JP International School in Greater Noida, and she is the founder principal of the school established in 2004, which she started with the strength of only 9 students. Today, the school is a temple of learning for over 1,800 students with a teaching staff of about 90. A highly accomplished professional with the ability to manage operational matters within the organization, skilled in driving academic improvement, governing schools, planning and executing strategies, and implementing missions. She is a certified senior resource person of CBSE and an observer of all competitive exams of CBSE. She is also a recipient of Award of Excellence in Leadership and Educational Qualities by Shri Vineet Joshi, ex-chairman of CBSE, and Shri Rajat Sharma, CEO of India TV. A recent accomplishment to her credit is the International Educator Award 2019 on her leadership in education and empowerment, awarded to her in a conference held at Singapore. Currently working as a principal of KR Manglam World School, Greater Noida, she has been also honored with ISA Award from British Council. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Before I start, a word of thanks to you, this Shivan, Lakshmi, right? So Lakshmi, thank you for introducing me to myself. And I really convey my heartiest regards to Tanya ma'am, Jyoti ma'am, that who have been given me the opportunity. And Tanya ma'am and Jyoti ma'am, they are like my family. So once they ask me anything, I can never say no to them. Morning today, since 8 o'clock, I'm onto the screen. And I knew beforehand that today my time is very, very tight schedule, morning from 8 to back to back. But then since I had committed, so I had to keep my words. And though Tanya ma'am gave me 1 hour to talk, so, you know, when we start sharing the experiences and we do talk to the new upcoming teachers, so 1 hour, you feel like it just goes in the warming up session. But nevertheless, ma'am, I'll try to justify as much as this 1 hour goes for the candidates who are either intern or who have done their exams, who have got their results, and congratulations for them, those who have already passed and waiting for the the job calls for them. And I wish everyone that may they get what they really had thought of, and may they get the objective what they thought of becoming a teacher first. So thank you very much. And I'll just take up a further that am I audible to everybody, especially to all the participants, the kids, children? For me, the children are your teachers. Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So
Yes, ma'am.
quickly, I would look for 4 or 5 answers from random anyone who would love to give the answer. That what difference do you think has now come up post COVID-19 and before COVID-19, being a teacher? And I would like just very brief answers, a liner or 2 liners. Anyone random, please.
Good evening, ma'am. Pratiksha here.
Good evening.
Ma'am, I think actually I am also taking online classes in one of the schools where I'm placed. So post COVID-19, the change is that we have to be more techno-friendly now, and the use of technology has increased over time a lot.
Correct. Thank you, Pratiksha. Wonderful answer. I'm looking for more answers, but not the repetitive answers, please. So she said techno. So technology has taken the lead. Which else other domain you think has changed? Anyone else, please? All right, let me continue. Before I start my technical areas, I would just like to say the first thing and foremost thing which brought the change into is when we spoke from the very beginning about learning, unlearning, and relearning. So this is the compulsion for everyone to unlearn and relearn, irrespective of the age group you are in. If you do not be fit, you are obsolete from the system. Because initially, if I talk before COVID, everyone wanted more of technology invasion into the classrooms. But there was an excuse, pretext of network, pretext of because we don't want to come out of the comfort zone. So there were many excuses which few of the people, they lingered on still. It's not they were not using it, they were using it, but not to the level which now being used, because it has been enforced now. There's no other option. When I was, say, suppose for an example, when I was teaching in classroom, so my mindset was different. I was in comfort zone, maybe because I've been teaching same class over the years, so the concepts are on my fingertips, so I don't have to look back. But now the concepts are same, the children are the same, but the medium has completely toppled up and down. They are sitting at home, most comfort zone for them. So the challenge first comes up about the engagement and sustainability. If you are unable to engage the child into the comfort zone, because the parents are next, teacher is in the pressure, because when you were in the classroom, it was you and the children. And suppose if parents would ask couple of times to the teachers, at times teacher may get a bit irritated that why this person, why the parent is so often on calling us and troubling us and bothering us. Now you cannot escape from that. So which you were escaping previously, the situation has brought you back into the same which you cannot escape now. Because what you are teaching a child into its more comfort zone. So the challenge, I understand, it's for the teachers also, because the parents are there. When I talk of engagement, it's how interesting your classes are. That would be there. So I would try to divide today's talk into few groups. First, I would talk about the teachers who have yet to qualify the exam and who have no experience of the classroom teaching. For them, there is a separate segregation of a group. Then is a group who has given the exam, got passed up, and they're waiting for the schools to call up and their placement, and they can start in. And then is a third grade wherein the teachers are already placed up, they already started teaching the classes. So I'm sure the teachers who have already started the classes, they are at least onto the trail to start the journey on. The difficult part, I'll quote an example. Say, suppose if you have a thread and put knots, lot of knots onto it. So the toughest is to open the first knot. That's the toughest. And gradually, when you keep opening it up, probably by the time you will reach to the last knot, it will open with just a stretch and it will come out. So the teachers who are yet to appear exam, yet to be the future teachers, they must prepare themselves side by side now for the outer world. Because when you are studying in college, now your classes also must be onto online classes. So when you are in the class with your teacher, there's an face-to-face interaction. Now there is no face-to-face interaction, it's a virtual interaction. So you need to prepare yourself as best as you come, because I'm telling you, the challenge first comes up, engagement, how interesting you make your class on. Because when you are teaching in your classroom, you have decorated your class in such a way that everywhere the child looks around, that represents some of the other educational tags. But when a child is sitting in home, first of all, it's difficult for the parents to wake up a kindergarten kid, to put him in front of the screen and to pay attention what you are teaching. So my teaching definitely will have 360-degree fold change than what I was teaching in the classroom. My first concern that let children accept me. Let children have bonding with me. Then I gradually go with them. Because once you talk about the syllabus, you'll need to have crush down with the syllabus. You cannot complete the syllabus of what you had already formulated for 12 months. Now you are just doing 2 sessions for the very kindergarten kids, then 3 session, 4 session, and 5 session, so on. So right now, from now, the teachers will have to work on engagement. And then the other most important is sustainability and conceptualization. One, you are preparing your lesson plan, because your teachers, as in BEd, you have been given very exclusive exercises about creating the lesson plans, right? You're at your home, you don't have teacher's diary. What next? But the planners have to be made. How? So then, what portals are you using? Which portals you think, or multiple portals if you have worked on and you have seen which is most hands-on and which adds you to the data? Because the technology, it has such a wonderful world. Once you go dive into it, you know, your maximum 90% of your works is done by your system itself. They have ready-made things with you. You have to just customize. But then it's again how much I feel hunger for it. Unless and until I'm hungry for learning, I have to have that hunger to learn. If I don't have hunger to learn, darlings, I would say wrong platform for you. Wrong platform for you. Because gone are those days when even if you think the schools would open, will not open like pre-COVID. They would not be the same as now. The term is new normal. Term, you must have heard a lot of time, new normal. What do we say new normal? We need to see either we are going to flip classes, because all you cannot accommodate because of the safety security reasons. So new normal is, if you talk of flip classes, half online, half offline. And then again, those offline, online, what are your preparations? You need to every day delve deep for your content. You must have heard about NEP 20, right? So can I ask all the teachers who are here, have you heard about, or do you have any idea about NEP? Especially if I talk about the primary classes. Can I have 1 and 2 words if somebody is aware about it? The latest NEP which has come. Okay. The basic changes.
5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, tell me one thing. Current, what are we doing?
Current, we are.
What, when they say 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So when we say 5, what do you mean by 5, this, ma'am? Which are the classes integrated into this grid?
Right from the kindergarten.
Yes.
Pre-primary.
Yes.
3 years of kindergarten, pre-primary, then
Yes.
junior KG, then senior, and then 1 and 2.
Correct, ma'am. Done.
In class 2.
Exactly, ma'am. You know, ma'am, when you see the NEP, larger section, what I have gone through it more elaborately, what I can give my references to that and my interference into it is, if I say the NEP has come up, 80% is for the government schools, right? Because there it comes up about the pre-primary and then 5 plus 3, and then about the literacy they're talking about, the writing they're talking about, the language they're talking about, because in government school, these things are lacking. Private school, even if a nursery, pre-nursery, they have a well-knit structured syllabus and they are going with it. Remaining 20%, if I talk, then again 10% is they're talking about the higher classes, the college. So school comes up with the 10%, wherein largely, which the NEP is talking about, to make your mother tongue as a way of conducting your classes up to primary. And they're talking about, you can have still your 3 language system as CBSE already had. And they're talking about the best thing which has come up for 8th onwards, the child, especially 9th and 10th, the children can take their own subject of the choices. But if you have a debate on it, because say suppose if school has the limited subjects, as per that they have hired the teachers. If I give liberty and a student comes in who opts any subject which I don't have, because I cannot have one teacher, one subject. So every school will have their own functionality, but by and large, which again is a setup that you can always interchange online classes with the teachers who are expert, and largely which is component of NEPs about the skill development. That is what is honing on, and that is what is being hammering on, which is for the last couple of years we had been listening. Vocational courses, the CBSE had already opened it, and you had to take the permission prior and give your children right from grade 9. Even grade 6 onwards, they were the vocational courses. So they are being structured. Plus, since they have given it out, but not upcoming year in 2021 exams, things will take shape, because yet we need to receive it from the government side. These are the implications and to be done. So I'm coming back to all the teachers here again, because you have yet to start your career. And this is the golden opportunity with you, that you prepare yourself. I have certain, the apps which I can tell you, you can look it out for that. You must have seen a few days back, there was one video or one picture had a lot of, it was not much viral onto the Facebook, that a lady, she's standing with a lion. So it's just nothing. You go to Google, type tiger, and scroll the picture unless you get 3D picture. Click onto it, rotate your mobile, and you see it right in front of you, and somebody can click picture for you. So this is how. They're simple tools. So like what we are working, we're talking about infographic, we have mind map, we have Coglit, we have Nearpod, we have Padlet, we have GeoGebra, we have story pyramid. And especially if the teachers who are upcoming for primary, you go for story pyramid. It's beautiful because it has a lot of capsules in it. You need to see, you have to customize those capsules to your choices and do. That's what I'm saying. You need to have that hunger of doing for you, because even if you join when the school children will come back, the school will start formal, still the school will not be the same as it was previous COVID-19. There would be a lot of challenges. First of the challenges, to come out of your comfort zone. That would be the first challenge. Secondly, I would request Tanya ma'am and Jyoti ma'am, I'm sure they're already doing it. Ma'am, please train them if they can start working on the online teaching planners, to prepare learning planners online, how to create the library with it, so that they, wherever they go, wherever and whenever, they can always see that. That's a complete kind of a locker library with them, so they can create, because future coming up, they'll be using all those digital lockers to keep their own lesson plans into it. And another thing which I was talking about, two words are trending. One is vault, one is wilt. Has any one of you heard about it? Vault and wilt? W-A-L-T, vault, W-I-L-T, wilt. These are the two trending words. Vault is what are we learning to, and wilt is what I am going to learn to. So two aspects. One, when I learn, what do I give to my children? What new concepts can I give? And as NEP, the CBSE, which is trying to change the formulation of the questionnaire, they say no more rote learning will be judged through the question paper. CBSE says, the NEP says, the questions would be based completely on conceptualized base. So unless and until you give them the concept of the topic, your children will not be able to opt. Say, I'll quote an example. Suppose if a child is very good in understanding the concepts, but not based on that conceptualization, he somehow mugs up what we teach and what we give the notes of. And he secures 90% marks or 99% of marks in the board exam. One side you have a student who does not score 90, 100, but his concepts are better. Maybe there are some other flaws, could be language, could be other flaws which he cannot express himself. So now coming back to that, the conceptualization has to be made handy on. As I was just talking about, when we talk of 3D images, Google provides it to you. You can create your own videos. You can even, add your own voice. When you create your own personalized video, you owe it when you share it with the children. There are a lot of apps. I'll share the list of apps with Tanya ma'am, and Tanya ma'am can further share with you all. Whenever you get time, work it on those apps. They're wonderful, including assignments and assessments. How many of you, the teachers who have yet not started teaching, how many of you have worked on Microsoft Teams or Google Meet, whatever the online platform? Have you used any platform to learn something?
Yes, ma'am. I have used both of them, ma'am.
You have done MST? All right. So, say suppose if you are creating a quiz on MST. So
Yes,
have
ma'am.
you tried working on MST quiz?
No, ma'am, I have not. I have attended seminar and I have given classes, ma'am. I have given classes on Microsoft Teams, ma'am.
You have given classes?
Yes, ma'am, but not created a quiz or something like that.
It's very easy. It's very easy, Deepika. It's really very easy. I'll again share. I'm sure Tanya ma'am and Jyoti ma'am are there. They would also know it. It's very easy.
I like to add here. Sorry to interrupt you. Actually, we have now that the things are not looking to be really so close where we can start through the physical presence.
Right.
Our students are also now undergoing these sessions of pre-internship.
Right.
So in fact, we are starting with the Microsoft Teams now.
Right.
Till now we were doing it through Google Meet. So now even we are also getting onto Microsoft Teams. I know schools are far ahead because the numbers are large.
Tanya ma'am, if you want, one day I can give them 1 hour training on creating the question paper onto the quiz.
Yes.
And how to evaluate, how to create the answer, the award list. A complete from A to Z, which starts how to create question paper, how to assess, and how to evaluate and complete with the award list.
That will be nice, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Because another thing, say we are talking about technology, but unless and until I have a will to do, एक कहावत है ना हिंदी में कि आप गधे को या शेर को कोई भी एनिमल मान लीजिए, you can take to the water, but you cannot make him or her drink. So it's your teachers, your the gurus can give you the serve platter thing, but unless and until you have that hunger, you will not receive it. So it's up to you how much you can take. This is the time, and there is no limit. There's no limit. One more quotient which is here, apart from technology, which is the emotional quotient, which is the test of your patience. Maybe because, when you are in your regular classroom, it's the children know there's nobody around from their family member. It's you and the teacher who's giving you the lectures or teaching. But at the home, at times there's nana, nani, dada, dadi, or the buas, chachas, everybody, the parents are there. Right? So from that comfort zone, sitting in front of the screen, I'm talking about the toddlers, bringing them to understand you is a challenge with the teachers. You have to have a lot of patience. Into that, again, you have to keep in mind that you have to make sure how do you reach every child in your class, because it's a connectivity, it's a bonding. If I know that in my class, there are 2, 3 children who are really very smart and very prompt to give answers, and I concentrate onto them, the others would feel neglected. So we make sure every one child's name to be called out. This is, what I'm trying to say now, because those sitting, as ma'am also said, right now you are not in the campus for your classes, but you can make your friends group. You can have your mock practices to each other. This is how you're going to learn. Because straight away, nobody would ask you to land in the online class and start teach. For that, you need to be prepared. And the best is you amongst yourself, friends, create the group. See, how can you make it best? Because now the time is not that you read every line and explain every line. First of all, you need to have your homework. So this is the time that you should start working on your homework, wherein you have to understand you cannot go with the pace you were in the actual classroom. You need to slow down your pace, because children, they also would have number of technical issues or any other personal issues. So they'll be coming back to you again and again, and then for that you have to be receptive. You will have limited time. You will have the time wherein your concept should be very clear, and how best with the usage of the technology you can bring that concept to the children. And also, when I talk about the apps, there are wonderful apps provided. You can work it out onto that. You can make your every class amazingly interesting. You can create your own videos. You can create your own set of library. It's, as I said, when you walk in the nature, so it's the beauty lies in the eyes of beholder. How you see the beauty, that is to you. To what stretch you see the beauty, it is to you. Either I close my eyes and there's a short, very small story, if Tanya ma'am would allow me to share. It's like, if the few children, it's a story of Helen Keller. She was a blind writer, right? And so she said, when a boy or he had been with his family to a beautiful nature walk, and when they all come back, she asked, what did you see? She was curious to know, what did you see? And he said, no, I didn't find anything. I just saw a few trees and that was it. So Helen Keller said, ask me that how can you have eyes and you cannot see? And how much without eyes we die to see. So we need to have that inquisitiveness in us to see what, where. Your day should start with questions. The more questions would crop up in your mind, the better you would have the conceptualized learning. That is, it's not for you. You need to train your children to put questions in. Because you are, of course, getting trained with the expert teachers, but you have to deliver it now. So the art of delivery itself is another honor of your teaching job. How your children shape up, that would be your reflection again. So you are, first of all, then I would say, I congratulate that another fraternity would be joining as the teacher and working out onto the new kids, and they would start their lives. So do not take the teaching job just because it is very time convenient, and every a particular date your banks are on. Don't do it, please. See, the beauty of it is that when you see every child being nurtured with knowledge, you yourself will feel confidence enough. You will be proud by yourself of selecting this particular profession, because you learn. I am 52. Till date, I learn and I find my journey so wonderful. And when I learn something, I feel elated as a child of grade 4 or 5 would elate when would learn something. So learning has never a full stop. And say suppose there are certain individuals who don't learn in groups because they have their own inhibitions that if something would go wrong, this is the best time. It's lockdown. You are in your own home sitting. Make as many mistakes you can, because every mistake will tell you that 100 things you should not do for the next time. You're still learning. So never be afraid of mistakes. Never be afraid of mistakes, because mistakes would only be if you are there. So the teachers who have yet to write their exams, yet to come, please do not let your time go waste, because you are about to enter in a phenomenal world of education. Prepare yourself for that. Think for yourself that if you are sitting in a group of experienced teachers, what you have to share, what do you have to contribute, instead of saying that I have yet to experience. Gain knowledge. There is no limitations, no limitations. And thankfully, online, or at a time, whether it is a 5,000 number or it is 2, it makes no difference, because it goes 1-to-1 for everybody. So coming back, your empathy, when we are talking of, you need to be very having your empathy quotient should be higher. You have to be with very much patience. Learn as much as you can. Be a good human being. There are no dearth of it. You need to check what you want. Because when do you want to have a cup of coffee, when you want to have something to eat, when do you want to have water, when you plan. It's you. Nobody tells you that you drink now, you eat now. You're all grown-ups. So this is exactly what learn. But at least a day, 3-4 hours on technology, please learn. Every day before you sleep, think, ask yourself, what new you learned? So you should be, elated, happy like a small child. I learned this and would love to teach it to my friends along. And it's beautiful time. If you all could club together, learn. If I could see there are 61 members in the team right now. So even if I say there are some officials, say 55, one learn everything. At least in a week, take a week's time. One should learn one thing and then correlate, create a platform, show, present to each other. So I learn from you and you learn from me. So 61 things you learn in a week, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. More so, as I said, suppose if some individual has learned something on technology app and you are sharing it with your colleagues, I'm sure you get more confident about, because your technical questions, when your friends ask you, you are prepared for that more. So always share your knowledge. That's not going to be somewhat decrease, rather it would increase and give you the confidence. More so when, as ma'am was talking about the ECE, which is early childhood education. So the teachers who are coming up for primary, middle, TGT, or secondary or senior secondary, you know your better group. Whenever you have time, please go through the NAP suggesting grid wise. If you are a prospective PRT teacher, go to the details in NEP about PRT. So whenever you are in the school, you will be asked questions. You need to prepare yourself to do's and to don'ts. Similarly for middle, similarly for TGT, similarly for PGT. Do not wait for you to start journey once you reach the school. I want you to be prepared well in hand before, so that when you go there, you are already prepared with that. So this is what I would try to say here. Tanya ma'am, I would love to take some questions if they have, and then I'll have my further ending part, another 10-15 minutes.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you. Sri Lakshmi.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your words of wisdom with us. It was a fruitful session and we learned a lot. Thank you once again, ma'am.
Thank you.
Everybody is informed that the session is open for question answer round. You can write your respective questions in the chat box.
मोबाइल पे देखे ना जाए क्या?
You may also unmute yourself and ask questions directly from ma'am. In case it takes time to put questions on the chat box, please interact with ma'am. Take the platform to interact.
Yes, Tanya ma'am, I would also suggest the same. Lakshmi ma'am, you can ask teachers to put their questions directly.
Yes, ma'am.
You are all requested to use the platform to interact. Let's have some questions.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, Pratiksha this side.
Yes, Pratiksha.
Ma'am, actually, I am teaching SST to classes 6 to 8. So,
Okay.
ma'am, there is a problem that in subjects like history, we don't have such activities to engage them. So,
Okay.
how to deal with that, ma'am? Because they then get bored and they need not to like to study, and they say there is a network issue and all.
Pratiksha, I have a good map for that. That is ManMind. It's a mind map. You have to just download it. If you are taking any chapter of the history, as you said, that's a rough, the children does not take much interest into it. You can crop the pictures. You can pick the pictures from the web. You can create your own, the particular further branches of it to make it more better understandable. You can create your own, you can add up your own voice into it. So if you would work upon mind map tools, that would, Pratiksha, would really help. Try that. And also, there are, when you go into MST also, it provides you, that's Microsoft Teams. If you go on to Google, you can download from there also. See, one is either you are simply picking up from Google, that would not much make you interesting. Interesting is that you use it, as I said, mind map from, customize it to your choice, put your voice into it. It says a voice makeover also, and you can create your own small video and post it. You can also do it while taking the class on. Before you that, if you want to be prepared beforehand, you can do that also. Choice yours, but I would say initially it's better to prepare the video beforehand, check it yourself, and then post it onto this class group. One, before you are starting that, children would really love to see that all pictorial things, the graphic things, and you're working out, and then you can take your lesson on from there.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Pratiksha.
Any other questions?
Ma'am, I have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, just to ask you that since the times ahead are also pretty uncertain,
yes,
how do you think that we can keep this online teaching motivated? Because children on the other side, it's very difficult to keep a check because most of the times you do not have your videos on,
right,
keeping the technical issues. Right. So as a teacher, becomes very important that we keep ourselves motivated.
Yes.
So how do you think we should go about it?
All right. So there are two phases about it. One phase that I, as a teacher, keep myself motivated. One, as a teacher, I keep my students motivated. So first, I'm talking about me as a teacher. As I said, when I integrate the learning with the technology, I myself will feel satisfied that my task is done. Because what a child would love to see it now. He or she doesn't want to see only my face on screen. That gets monotonous. Their receptivity breaks. Right now also, if somebody shows us video, which is very colorful, pictorial, with the information given in bits, not the whole paragraph, we would love to do it. So my suggestion first, what we also do, the teachers are teaching, of course, with the apps. Once a week, we have told our teachers to create a video and share it. That lasts for 1 week, next week another. Do not give lot of informations in the mode of paragraph. They don't read. Give them in bits and pieces. how engaging, that's what I was talking about, the engagement and the usage of these technology. The apps, I'll share it all with Tanya ma'am. She'll share it with you. Work it out on individual. They have multiple reasons. You will find it interesting, you know, because say suppose if I'm teaching, because I'm an English teacher, right? So if I'm teaching English and a poem, and I have the ready-made material on Google or onto those apps where I'm working on. So I take that app, I go into that, I can play around with it, I can edit it, I can delete it, I can do anything, make it customized, and I give my voiceover. I don't think there is a reason which would not keep me motivated and my children motivated. So that's what I'm saying. Use the technologically as best you could do. And of course, Padlet, somebody's writing, Padlet is equally good, which is also in my list. Because now it is to you explore. Like, you know, when we get the new mobile, we know, okay, this is to call and this is to connect and this is to disconnect. But gradually we go on every app into it and the details further into it. Similarly are the apps of the education which we're talking about. You know, you can go at any level, you go into deep into it and extract. As I said, the deeper you go, your work becomes so easy. You don't have to type. They take your voice, and the question papers also gets printed onto ExamNet. That's wonderfully well. The teachers who are of science, you know, beautiful conceptualized videos are available. As I said, convert it to your customization. Make your voiceover of any experiment. Share it. Who not would love to see that? Teachers would love to feel good themselves, and even parents also would see and they would also praise. Of course, children would love, because when they see visually, it more comes onto the conceptualization. So that would help you out, ma'am, like anything. You have to just work on as much deep you can go onto the apps. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, here is another question from Reshma.
Okay.
How to deal with the primary classes students online, as it is really difficult to handle little kids on online platforms. So how to make the classes more interesting for them?
Okay. So as I said in the beginning of the workshop, the challenge is with the tiny tots. So first of all, as a teacher, I should not use the word challenge or the negativity. I should say what is the most positive thing into that situation. Instead of looking into negativity, let me see how can I make positive. So what I want the children to pay attention to me, and it's a vice versa. I need to pay attention onto my children also, because that would not be one dialogue conversation in the class. It has to be two-way. How can I come down to their level? As I said, I was talking about these apps. Your teachers can create your own small, nice videos. They create story. When I was talking about the story pyramid, you have all the characters. There are cartoon apps. You can create your storybook. Say, suppose my topic in EVS is about the healthy food, right? I go to that app. I create my own comic book onto the healthy food. Characters are given. I write my own dialogues into it. And why not? Why not? My concept is the same, what I want to tell them. Whatever I want to teach to the children, I should create into that. For the time being, if you are not yet ready with the app, you see, how can you make it more beautiful? How the child would love to see it. Say, suppose we all are sitting and I tell you that, all right, I'll tell you a story of a lion and a mouse. And I start my story. All right, children, there was a lion, there was a mouse, and I go blah, 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 blah onto the same note. They would not be interested. Unless and until I create a mask of the lion, I have a hand puppet of the mouse, and I modulate my voice of the tiger, the lion, and the squeaking of the mouse, children will be attracted. the teachers who are you are talking about the primary, you want to teach them to the junk and healthy food. Create a maze onto the floor with the colored tape, right? Just draw some healthy diet or the unhealthy diet, junk food or the healthy food, cutouts, place them onto the floor, which you have created. Snake and ladder you all have played. So create a snake and ladder on your floor, stating when you eat the junk, you get down to the zero. When you eat the healthy food, you get the ladder to go up. So you have to think, create such activities in your classroom, online also. But such kind of activities, what my teachers are doing, they create pre-video themselves and they share it with the parents, and the parents do the same. At times they become the vegetable seller, and how to sell, that's the communication skills to develop. They are doing the nature walk inside their own homes. It's, as I said, it's a plethora of experience how you do it. The best part, give them something new. When we say newness, new normal, give them something new and attractive when they do. Can you believe, Tanya ma'am, Jyoti ma'am, my nursery class kid do science experiments online. It's because teachers are giving them to that level and they're doing it. It's how we generate interest, because children sitting in front of the screen with the presence of parents are not ready to listen you book reading there. They're not. You want to develop their reading habit. If you see something, you know, at the back of, you have some board or whiteboard usage in the classroom, you can pre-record your class. You can have on the same time, give them the habit, give them the words and vocabulary. Even if they have anything, what do you see at your back? Is it window? Is it door? Up to you. So one is app, technological help. One is your own available resource at home and how beautifully you can create it. And it's just that you have to take 10 steps ahead to make your class beautiful and learning with objective, of course.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I hope I have answered to the query well.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am. I have a query.
Yes, please.
First of all, thank you, ma'am, for such great input.
Thank you.
Ma'am, my query is that though the online teaching and this thing, it's all normal, new normal now, technology. But once when the schools will reopen, will this technology take the backstage and again the normal teaching will come in the forefront?
See, ma'am, this technological usage, we wanted it ages back. And with one or the other reasons, we were thirsting it back. Now it has come on to us. So if any of us thinks also, dreams also of going back to the COVID, I think is obsolete from the system. Because now you should always see what ahead next. What next? If I have gauged a particular area, what next beyond it? I have, because you are, see, it's not about me learning. It's not about you learning. It's about the generation coming in learning to whom you are teaching. What are you preparing them for? Do you want them same setup of the classroom and to learn? No, you want them to grow, to learn the conceptualized learning. And that only through technological. 3D dimensional teaching has come now, because we should not at all dream of going back to that. Say we are talking about online classes, it is the virtual mode. Even when you come back to the classes, nobody stops you to take your the laptop in the classroom or your tabs in the classrooms. It's just that you are face-to-face giving lecture, but your technology remains same. You can create your videos. You have all the knowledge what you can do. You have the smart boards in classes. You can always create your videos and attach it onto the smart board and show it to your children, because the time has gone by when you teach a child the entire digestive system, but the child cannot imagine. He just mugs up or she just mugs up. Once they see the 3D model, this is how it looks like from all dimensions. Ma'am, you ask further coming 10 years to the child, same question he or we will be able to answer because you have given them the concept. So those who are even dreaming that it would be so easy going back to the classroom once because this is what the new normal will remain new normal. Old normal is a vague word now. There's nothing that.
But
Because
what about ma'am, rural schools and rural areas where still the technology wise they are very lagging behind?
Yes, ma'am. I accept that. I really accept that your concern. But if I say we start 100%, at least we will reach somewhere. If we are talking, and when the government has brought this NEP, as I said, 80% is for the rural. I'm sure the government would be taking care of it. And even during COVID-19, when suddenly the schools were shut, there were states wherein complete rural areas, they had started the online classes through Doordarshan channel. So it's how you go about. You need to look out for the means and objectives. Say, suppose if a child whose net is very uncertain and not much connective. So what I would do, I would share my recorded classes with the child. So whenever he or she will have that availability of the net, he would see, at least would not be disconnected from the class, would be connected to your teaching. So let's not look up before COVID-19 how the class looked like. We should, because I'm sure the challenges which we all accepted. See, till 22nd of March, we were all working. We never knew that the lockdown would be so that the new session would start through the virtual classes, wherein to start classes and then to have the events online. Now we don't miss anything because we have learned to live with it and to have the best of the areas. So we have to make a head forward to it. Let's not think look backing it. But yes, if I say before COVID-19, we had empathy. Yes, we had patience. Yes, so good things to carry forward. But yes, to change from the rote learning to the technological, we should involve it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Your query.
Yes, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure your address will help a lot in understanding the need to adapt the new normal.
Thank you.
I now request Dr. Tanya Gupta, ma'am, Principal, Army Institute of Education, Greater Noida, to propose vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sri Lakshmi. Thank you, Heema ma'am, for your such a wonderful, I think, very heart-to-heart talk. We've not really had any kind of presentations, and I think this is, you just spoke from your heart. And the lady who was anchoring, she is our student teacher of the junior batch.
Oh, wow.
And why I take this platform to say that, because I think you perhaps felt she's one of our faculty. I thought maybe you took it that way. And so this is how the teachers are being prepared at the Army Institute. And this is how I think she's the face of the batch. All of them are so wonderful. And of course, the whole teaching, I mean, we are making a lot of efforts, but there is, of course, difficulties, there are challenges, and there is a little dilution also in how, there are always apprehensions on how things are going to be done. But then, yes, as you said, that once you're determined, when you're ready to learn and you're ready to, first you need to unlearn and then learn and then relearn. So I really say that this is one key takeaway from your session. And secondly, as you said that, no matter whatever you do, the pandemic has to be a period where all the budding teachers and the teachers who are already teaching at whatever level, of course, whether it's a higher education teacher or a teacher at the school level, at the essence, we are all teachers. True. And we need to be lifelong learners. But I just had a little input, ma'am, about the NEP, since we've been discussing, and yes, there have been a lot of changes in the NEP. But I don't know, somehow I feel that we waited so long. The draft was ready in 2019.
Right.
And we are in the midst of resumption of new normal, say after a few months. In fact, I was reading what it was announced that schools are going to reopen in the phased manner, where the senior secondary classes most probably will be back at school, say about in a month or two's time, because of course they have to take on their examinations, which our system, accepts that we have to take them on with the examination system. But we also have the little tiny tots for whom we know, I mean, we are all here a platform of teachers. We know how difficult it is to get the children back to school, especially the primary and pre-primary. Perhaps would something be absolutely out of question at this moment. So I feel the NEP is really very futuristic. I think it's come after 34 years after the policy of 1986 and the POA of 1992, and it's a good policy. But I somehow I have a personal feel that the policy could have waited for another 4 or 5 months when there was already a delay of 1 year. It could have waited for another year, and it could have talked about adaptability to the new normal, which I feel is missing in the new education policy. Of course, it's a guideline, it's a policy, and since the time it's been, the policy has come to the public domain. Now, most of the webinars and very good platforms where the NEP is being discussed and deliberated upon. But then, yes, the questions that have come from, the attendees today, that there are challenges of adapting to the new normal situation, and the policy could have perhaps added how life is going to be after the new normal. That's my personal view, that we could have done it. But nevertheless, the policy is very, very futuristic, very forward-looking and visionary. And ma'am, thank you so much. And I think after hearing from you, I'm inspired to start another series. I take this platform to say that I feel that there's so much the school teachers are doing. And what is our aim here? We are here to prepare our teachers for the schools.
That's what we want, Tanya ma'am, because, when we connect, so the time when the teachers are still preparing, so they should prepare what is in the out. Instead of coming out and learning, they should be ready, hand prepared, and come out.
Yes, so maybe we can always, ma'am, look forward. Like you have been so kind enough to say, I'll be suggesting some online platforms. And schools are dynamic places. They are certainly more dynamic places than colleges. So why not? When your objective is clear that you're training your teachers and you want them to get transformed into the school system and get adjusted and adapted well to the situation, we can always invite some of your teachers who are very good and using and creating these quizzes, or using Teams. And we love to have teachers on board here as our guests, guest speakers, and we can really have some very hand-on learning where our student teachers can also sit in with their laptops, and it could be more like a workshop. So maybe we can plan a workshop on very small things, on how to create quizzes and how to do, and that will be enriched learning. So thank you so much, ma'am, on behalf of my student teachers and my professors at the college and the entire management of Army Institute of Education. I extend my gratitude to you, ma'am, and we look forward that we continue this journey of learning together. Thank you so much for sparing your time and being with us.
Mine, Tanya, ma'am. Pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sri Lakshmi, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Lastly, I would like to end this session with National Anthem. So I request everybody to get ready for the National Anthem. Sir, I would like to request you to kindly play the National Anthem. Over to you, sir.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा, जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे जय हे, जय 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 हे।
So once again, thank you, ma'am, and thank you to Sri Lakshmi for a wonderful and smooth sail of the session. Well
Thank
done.
you, Lakshmi. Yes, you did a commendable job. And thank you, Tanya ma'am. Thank you, the entire team of Army Institute. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Stay healthy, stay safe, keep smiling. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Manoj sir, for your technical support. Thank you. Please exit.